Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Brown. I'm a certified Catholic life coach, a speaker, a wife, and mother of six, and I'm partnering with Little with Great Love this Lent to bring you a power-packed 8-week women's wellness course. We are going to be focusing on all areas of wellness, from physical wellness to spiritual wellness, emotional, mental wellness, how to overcome stress and overwhelm, as well as that nagging self-talk. All of these things incorporated into this 8-week course. We're bringing you experts in their field to address all of these different type of topics. And then each week, I will be leading a group coaching session for all of the participants. So I wanted to come to you today to talk to you about group coaching. What is that? That might be unfamiliar to you, and I wanted to help familiarize you with it because it might be a question you have if it's holding you back from registering for this course or wanting to find out more. So group coaching is a technique that we can use to build tools and to get out of our stuck, whatever that might be. It will be done via Zoom every Wednesday at 12 Eastern. I'll come on and all of the participants will be there. You'll have the option to turn on or off your camera, and I will lead the session. I'll ask participants if they have any questions or if they want to be coached live. Via Zoom, there's a raise your hand function that you can raise your hand to come on. There's a Q&A area that's anonymous that you can ask me a question that I won't mention your name, but I'll answer those questions. There's a chat function where you can chat with all of the participants on the call. The biggest thing is that we get to hear everyone's experiences and see how they can be applied to our own life. We know that all of our individual experiences are not exactly the same. They can be quite different, but there's aspects that can be applied to all of our lives. And that's the beauty of group coaching, is we take what we hear and be able to apply it to our lives. And above and beyond all of that, on the group coaching call, you can be praying for that participant who might be being coached live, and just for their overall support and well-being and how to apply it to your life. If you are someone who wants to be coached live, you would just raise your hand and you come on with me. And it's just like we're talking in a room together, sitting down and having a cup of coffee. Everything that's said on the call is confidential, and I just try to make it really at ease. You get to explain your part of the story of what you're struggling with, of the question you might have, or what's holding up, where you're stuck. And then I might ask some clarifying questions to bring more insight into the situation so I know where to go from there. A lot of where we go from there is me asking even more in-depth questions that you might not have even known to ask yourself or have thought of before. That's the beauty of coaching, is that I step outside the experience. I'm an observer. I'm not in your everyday life. Just like when we talk about sports and there's the coaches up in the press box that they can see the whole entire field, or from a dancer's perspective, the mirrors when they're practicing only can offer so much reference, but their instructors can see the 360. That's what a coach is. As a life coach, I'm outside the situation and can bring perspective that you might not be seeing and ask those questions that gets your brain to think in a different way. It's like putting on a new pair of glasses. You have different clarity. You see things through a different light. Different things are open to you with a perspective that you might not have had before. So you can volunteer in a group coaching call to be coached, or you cannot. It's really up to you. Like I said, there's those participation opportunities through asking questions or participating in the chat or praying for the other person. But then you'll be coached through that session, and I will lead you through something that's called the model. That is how I coach others. And what is that model? You're probably asking. The model consists of talking about the circumstance in our life. And we get down to the nitty-gritty of a circumstance really just being the facts of life. You live in a certain place. You had a conversation with somebody and certain words were said. This is the weather that's going on in a certain area. Your child slipped and fell. You had an accident. Those are facts, things that can hold up in a court of law. And the thing about facts, the circumstances of our life, we can have thoughts that are generated from these circumstances. And we might have the same facts as someone else in our life or not in our life in a different city or place, and they might have a completely different thought about that circumstance, about those facts. And we start to bring insight to, we have many thoughts, over 10,000 thoughts that run through our head each day. And we try to pinpoint and grab one of those main thoughts. They can be negative, they can be positive, they can be good, they can be bad. But the thing about thoughts is they then produce a type of emotion and a feeling that we have within us when we think those thoughts about those circumstances or those facts. Those emotions then drive action in our life of the things that we do, the way we act towards others or towards ourselves, and that produces results. So in essence, our thoughts are producing our results. And if we're looking at our life and we're not really liking the results in our life, we need to yoke ourselves with the power of the Holy Spirit to look at our thoughts, just the way St. Paul says, in that we're called out of obedience to hold our thoughts captive to Christ. That's what I do in coaching, either one-on-one or in the group, is calling us to recognize the thoughts about the facts of our lives that are producing results, that we need to take a look at our thoughts. Are these what God is asking us to do? How he's asking us to think? Are we taking on the mind of Christ? And when we apply this to different areas of emotional wellness, our physical well-being, our emotional, our spiritual, our mental well-being, it can be a game changer just by having a coach talk you through your circumstances, how you're thinking about that, realizing you might not have even realized the thoughts you were having about these circumstances that were producing certain emotions, driving certain action, and creating these results in your life. That's the beauty of the coaching experience. So I hope this is bringing some insight to you and asking and solving, maybe answering those questions that you had about group coaching. I hope this really pushes you in a great way to join our course and to register today. It's going to be a power-packed 8 weeks with just so much insight and wisdom, and then we get to unfold that in group coaching with a community aspect that's really just going to help utilize and unite us in pursuing virtue of growing this Lent in following the Lord. I can't wait for you to join us. I'm so excited to meet you. Have a blessed day.